Oh, that's funny too. They say you want to have this clean first. So I'm just going to spray this with my simple green. Just because I've been here at Motha's house for almost 2 weeks now. And normally I'll wash your car at least once. I haven't done it yet. And so the headlights, who knows when the last time this thing was cleaned. And so I'm just gonna get this cleaned first. And then it tells you to put masking tape around the whole thing. I'm not going to do that. In fact, I don't even know if I have any masking tape here at Motha's. Boy, I'm gonna have to get this dry. Actually, the next step, you don't necessarily have to get it dry. Here's the little handheld thing, and it tells you we're going to sand this. And make sure you get the right grit one on. Obviously, it's the thicker of the two grits. And it also says, oh, that's right. It also says as you're doing this, you want to dip this into water, spray it with the spray bottle, or dip it in water. Now, I'm not going to spray it with my simple green. I've got a bucket over here. I've got to get some water. And I'm going to dip it in that. And you sand a little bit, dip it in the water, sand a little bit more. So it doesn't matter if it's wet right now. And I got to get that bucket and yeah, get that ready too. And here I thought this garden stool was just to put stuff in it underneath, gloves and cutters and weed pullers and stuff. I'm going to use that to sit here so I can get this going. And I just needed a little water in a bucket. I got my knee brace on and my on my bad knee, and my back support on, and it says just do this first and get it slightly wet. It kind of seems weird sanding something and also getting it wet. You know what I mean? But that's how they say to do it. Okay. I guess I could see if this was a newer car, you just want to make sure you don't get your sand disc too close to your paint, you know? Well, you don't want to scratch that. I could actually take the sand pad off too and do it right up against the edge. You know? Okay, put it back on. And it says to, I'm gonna rinse this off. I got just a little sponge here. And then I'm gonna do it some more. You're just lightly etching the top bits off, okay? I can almost kind of tell that that's already done something already. That's kind of encouraging. So now I'm going to do a little more. I'm going to do a little more with this thing. And it says you don't have to press really super hard. Okay. Overlapping as you go and stuff. Okay. Just go by the directions, step by step. I thought it was going to be, when I first saw it, and I saw you had to hook that thing to a drill. The only drill I had at the time was a little battery operated one, a 12 volt from years ago my pops had, and I thought this is never going to fly. Okay, but after reading it all, I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to put just a little more water on it. Okay. Once over here. All right. What do you think? I'm just going to peel that off, do the edge. I guess you want to do it, you know, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it as good as you can, right? Last thing I want is for this headlight to look really good when I get done and have it be like, oh yeah, I should have done this over here, I should have done that over there, I should have got a little closer over here. Okay, all right. And see, just rinsing that out. This is fine for if you have, well, obviously I've got the other headlamp to do, and then after that, it's not like you have to throw anything away, right? You could do another car, or just save all your stuff for years down the wroad. Or somebody says, yeah, my headlights are kind of crappy. Oh, I got some stuff for that. Bring your car on over. Okay, I'm just getting off that. And I see some little marks here. I don't know if that's on the outside or the inside, but mind you, how could anything get on the inside of your head like lens, you know? Okay. So now it says to take a what kind of rag did it say? Microfiber. Well, we don't have any here, so I'm just using a towel, you know, that my mother uses in the laundry area. We'll have to wash this when she gets done. And I'm almost thinking between each step, should I do the other headlamp or should I do this one first? But I think I'm going to just stop and hit the next one and do the exact same thing I did. That way, when I get going, I don't have to do the entire process again and all that. Okay, so that's all I'm doing for this first step, and I'll be right back. And basically, I'm going to do the same thing again, but with, see, this was 1,000 grit, they called it. This was 3,000 grit. This one is nice and a lot smoother. It almost doesn't even feel like sandpaper at all. In fact, you know, I can still do this now. And I read on the directions, and pretty much you're just going to do the same thing with this one now. Okay. Now I can see there's a fogged area on here, but it's nice and even because I sanded it nice and even. Right? Oh, now I'm going to do this same thing. I don't normally do stuff on cars, but you know, this seemed like it would be pretty easy to do. And it says to make sure to keep that water on your sandpaper. This is like sandpaper that's meant to get wet as you're sanding. Okay, now these are nice, solid little pieces too. And I can see how you could save it when you get all done and use it again down the road. Okay, they're not. It's like a cloth. Basically, it's a cloth because this has got the sticky, well, not sticky, but the Velcro edge, and then this is designed to fit right on there, see? And you just rip it off. So this is kind of a cloth material on the back. All right, so I'm just gonna kind gonna do that business on there. And before I do any more, I'm gonna do it one more time, but just get my sponge on there. Yeah, if your headlight lens covers are really bad, you know, when you're driving at night, you want people to see you. And you also want to see what's on the road, especially if it's foggy night or something. I should have really done this. I've had this kit sitting over here for probably over a year. Today's the day by Joe. And see, I can tell just by using that sanding disc, it's a lot clearer now, and that's what it's supposed to be, because this one is finer sandpaper. Right, so I'm just gonna do pretty much just a once over. It's not gonna take very long. You know, if you're gonna do something, spend a little time and do it the best you can. You get one shot at this, so to speak. I mean, obviously, when you get all done, if you want to try it again, you're going to have that. They give you sealer stuff to put over this whole thing. Then you'd have to get that stuff off. And remember, I read on there, I showed you. It said this is good to keep your light lenses clean, and not just clean, but you know, clear like this for a year. So does that mean after a year you got to do this again? Well, you'll just have to look at it after a year, look at it, make a determination, and decide for yourself, do I want to do it again at that point? And they give you all kinds of sealer. See, here's the paste stuff they give you. And you're only supposed to put a nickel size on your buffer when we get ready for that, and that's and well, maybe a nickel size at a time. We'll just have to see how much of that I want to do. And then there's a whole bottle of that headlight sealant. You're not going to need that much sealant to put on here, and they actually give you a little applicator. It's just a little piece of sponge is all it is. You could, and if you lose this or something, you could use a paintbrush that has the sponge on there, and you can put the applicator on like that, you know. So I think there's enough material here for quite a few headlights, as a matter of fact. So if you got 2 or 3 cars, then you got enough to do them all. Do one first, see how it turns out. I think I'm going to be happy with it. I actually do think that. Okay. All right. So as that's drying, I can take my rag to it, and then I'll let it dry until I get ready for the next bit. And I'm going to do that whole same process with the other light lens. I'm going to do that right now, but that's okay. You don't have to watch me for that one. And when I get back to you, we'll start working on this for the next step.